Hi, everyone. It's Thursday, December 22nd, and I'm here at the office by myself. Today, Jennifer Facosita was planning to come, but isn't feeling well. And so she stayed home, which I do appreciate. You know, it's definitely best that we not spread germs and contaminate the office. So I do appreciate her staying home. But unfortunately, that means this is going to be a less interactive session than usual. Since I'm here by myself, I'll be covering the 3 Inman News articles that I think there were 3 of you that ranked the 5 possible topics in. And so I picked the top ranked 3. And the first one will be no regrets, 7 things top agents wish they did sooner. The second topic will be going back to basics, what top agents are doing to finish the year strong. And then the third one is no clients, 11 things you should be doing now. And so I will include a copy of what I'm reading when I email you a copy of the recording, but I think that it's probably still helpful for you to watch or at least listen to this recording while you're in your car or somewhere, because at least you'll get sort of my spin on everything, which, you know, I always add to these to try to add my own experience, tips, and things to kind of personalize it for you. So hopefully this will still be helpful. And with that, I'll go ahead and get started. So we'll start off with the first topic for starting 2023 strong, and that is no regrets, 7 things top agents wish they did sooner. This Inman News article was written by Jimmy Burgess back in November. He says, we either learn through the pain of trial and error or through the experience of others. Based on my desire to learn from others, one of my favorite questions for top producing agents is, what do you wish you would have done sooner? After interacting with thousands of agents, the following are the 7 most common things top producing agents tell me they wish they would have done sooner. Number 1 is hired an assistant. If a real estate agent doesn't have an assistant, then they are the assistant. Every agent has areas of strengths and areas of weaknesses. The key in many top producers' businesses is that they do what they are best at and they hire an assistant to help with the areas they are weak. For their businesses to be optimized, they must do the highest dollar producing activities possible. For every $100,000 in annual earnings someone makes, that comes out to roughly $50 an hour. If you make $100,000 a year and you're doing tasks like scheduling showings, inputting listings in the MLS, organizing mail campaigns, then you're doing $15 to $20 an hour activities instead of $50 an hour activities, like going on listing appointments, showing properties, making phone calls to your sphere of influence. And I guess I'll say, I don't know what state he's in, but our minimum wage is more than $15 an hour. So you'd have to be paying someone more than $15 an hour, probably more like 20. So just keep that in mind. But I think Washington is kind of on the high end for minimum wage. Continuing on with what Jimmy says, top producers understand the value of their time. They make sure they leverage an assistant to help them with lower cost activities and for them to have the ability to scale their businesses. Every single top agent I know wishes they would have hired an assistant sooner. So ordinarily, this is where it would have been good to have maybe some questions or interaction. Since no one's here to ask any questions, I guess what I will say is that I think that there are some differences of opinion in this. I think you all know that for the most part, I don't have an assistant. Over the years, I've had someone help me with mailings. And actually now my husband is helping me with my monthly mailings again. He's also in the past helped me with organizing files back when there were paper files. But I've been paperless now since, 2012 to 2014, somewhere in there. I'd have to check my records to know for sure. So I don't need anyone to organize my files anymore. That's good. But something that he is helping me with is sort of my own business or the office accounting. So there are ways that you can have family members, friends, or whatever assist you with those tasks. Obviously I just mentioned my husband, but in the past, it was actually my father that helped me with my mailings. And it was, I think probably it started somewhere in about 2004. So I was still relatively new, but I just learned that it took a lot of time to do mailings. And back then I was doing monthly mailings to my sphere of influence. And so he was actually doing all the compiling everything. I mean, I've always maintained my own database because I feel like I need to, right? I'm the one with the information and know what's going on. Then I can give that database to someone else and they can log on to a program and order something as they would now, which is what my husband does. Or in the past, I was actually ordering things and he was actually printing labels and putting labels on things and actually physically mailing them. Or back then too, rather than just choosing a company to order postcards from and have them mailed out, he was actually printing them at the office and printing the labels and putting them on. So it was a bit more of a process back then. But my father was actually helping me with the mailings because I don't do it now very consistently, but in the past, and one of the ways that I really, I think grew my database and my client base was that I mailed just listed and just sold postcards for every one of my listings back then. And it definitely helped. You know, I think some of you are aware that I've sold countless condos in Liberty Lake. And it's from all of the postcard mailings that I did. So I do think it's valuable to have people help you with sort of the lower cost things. But at the same time, I think that it's also important to sort of still have a hand on things. Like in here, he mentions making appointments and that sort of stuff. And I guess maybe it's possible to have someone make my appointments for me, but I just don't even see how that's really feasible because I know my schedule is always changing and all that sort of stuff. And I think that also with RMLS rules and stuff, someone would have to have access to be able to schedule your showings and stuff. So there's some things in here that I'm not sure that would work, but I definitely think that it is a way to leverage those around you and scale your business more. And so I guess just as a reminder, if any of you ever want to have a more personal conversation about that, we can always schedule a time to meet in person at the office or online via Zoom, because we can talk about, you know, how your business looks, where you think someone may be able to help you. And then of course, I'll just provide, you know, my honest feedback for that to try to help you out. So I don't think we'll talk that much about every tip here, but that was one that I think it's number one on his list. And I know it's something that a lot of people talk about. So I wanted to go ahead and share some of my thoughts with you about that. Number two, for things that top agents wish they would have done sooner, is become a better student of the game. There comes a point in every top agent's career when they realize they don't know what they don't know. This is the beginning of enlightenment and of becoming a student of the business. As a new agent some 28 years ago, as Jimmy says, I was in an office with 4 other agents. I watched how they did their work and modeled everything I did after them. My mom was the broker owner of the company, and she encouraged me and my brother to attend a national real estate convention after I had been selling, excuse me, after I'd been selling for 1 year. I remember sitting in a breakout session and hearing agents talk about their businesses and how they were closing over 100 transactions a year. My mind was blown. My limited view of what was possible had held me back, but after seeing others doing more, I began to believe it was possible for me to do it as well. My brother and I studied the way these, the way these top agents ran their businesses, and 4 years later, we closed over 100 transactions. My only regret was that I didn't attend the convention and begin learning more about how others are finding success earlier. If you're serious about growing your business, become a student of what other successful agents are doing and model your business after theirs. This is a path top agents wish they would have followed sooner. And so I think just kind of a tip that I have to add to that is, you know, don't forget that RE/MAX will be celebrating its 50th anniversary in Las Vegas, February 27th through March 1st. Early bird registration has closed, so I believe it's now $6.99 for the base registration. I did register last week. I am going. I'm staying at the MGM. It would be great for all of you to attend. Not that we would necessarily be hanging out together at the convention, because we'd all be kind of selecting our own classes and there's tons to choose from, but it can still be good to attend with others. You know, we can get together during the general sessions. Maybe we could organize a dinner there. Anyways, although we would hang out some, really it'd be best just for you to attend the sessions. They often have panels with top producers, as Jimmy's talking about, or it's also just good to network with other agents from around the US and world. I know that there are many agents that swear by this convention, although, you know, the registration is expensive. They say, I cover that more than several times just with the referrals that I receive. You know, I hear that all the time. And so there's great networking opportunities, but also if you're not so into networking, there's just lots of opportunities to learn about the business from other top producers. And so I do recommend that. Okay, going back to what Jimmy says, the third thing that top agents wish they would have done sooner was farmed a geographical area. Most agents begin their career focusing on helping buyers, but almost all top agents come to a point in their career when they realize agents that work mostly with buyers are real estate salespeople. Meanwhile, agents who work mostly with listings are running a real estate business. This leads to a change in focus from buyer business to listings. The shift in focus leads to the most fundamental listing strategy in real estate, geographic farming. The process for adding consistent value to a specific neighborhood allows agents to be seen as the expert in that area and leads to consistent listing opportunities. Top producers understand the compounding effect of consistently adding value to a geographic farm, and their only regret when it comes to farming is that they wish they would have started sooner. And I do agree with that. I think I've probably talked with almost all of you except Jennifer, since she just joined this week, about how that is another way that I grew my database when I was brand new. I had originally started out farming 2 different neighborhoods that I wanted to work. And so at the time, gosh, it was like, I think 700 a month. And I had been advised not to go so big, but I was like, no, I'm going to do this. Well, I think that didn't even last quite a year because I realized it was too much to manage. 700 is probably a lot. I think they say that it's more manageable to do 250 to 500. But whatever it is, I would just take a look at your budget and figure out what you're really going to be able to do consistently. Consistency is key in geographic farming, and he doesn't mention that in here. So I want to bring it up that it really only works if you're mailing to everyone in that neighborhood or area at least once a month and consistently. The longer you do it, the higher your return. And it's going to most likely take at least 3 to 6 months before you ever hear from anyone too. So it's not necessarily oh gosh, I need a closing next month or in 2 or 3 months, because geographic farming just takes time. But it is very beneficial in the long run because it's a little weird. All you have to do is start mailing people, and then people think you're the neighborhood expert. And sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, all I did was had a listing last year. I don't necessarily know that much. But you know, you don't, of course, tell them that. You just do your research on the MLS, and then it's up to you in your presentation. Because the other big thing with geographic farming is you're able to pick up a lot of listings. You know, although listings are staying on the market now, listings are just in general much easier to work. You as an agent have more control over your time. And if you think about it, you're the one with the listings in the inventory. So you're the one that's in a way controlling the market, right? So it's a good place to be. And geographical farming is one of the best ways to get listings, especially when you're new. Okay, so the fourth tip that Jimmy has for ways that are things that top producers wish they would have done sooner was number 4, go all in on video. Video has become a critical marketing tool for top real estate agents, but there is a process with video. If you commit to video, over time your videos will become better. You will see which videos your ideal client responds to, and you will produce more of those videos. The key top agents realize is that the sooner they would have started, the sooner they would have caught their stride with video. If you're still wondering if video will help your business, here are a few statistics to consider. 73% of homeowners say they are more likely to list with an agent that uses video. 403% more inquiries are driven from listings with videos. Social media videos generate 1,200% more shares compared with images and text combined. And marketers who use video grow revenue 49% faster than non-video users. The use of video helps agents grow their businesses faster than otherwise possible. All top producing agents that go all in on video wish they would have done so sooner. And that's probably going to be me, because I think you all know I'm not the best at video. In fact, I just started doing some this year. And so that's something that I'm working on as well. I think part of it's just with me having been around a while and didn't ever have to do that in the past. It's kind of hard for me to get started now, but I do understand that the stats speak for themselves, and that is what I do continue to hear. So I would encourage you to get started. And I'm working on it myself. So you'll be seeing more videos in 2023. Number 5 is agents wish they would have optimized their database through a CRM. Show me your database, and I feel confident I can tell you where your business will be in the next 1 to 5 years. Top agents come to a point in their careers where the information about the clients they are currently working with or past clients becomes too much to remember. That is when they realize the value of an organized database. And I'll tell you, that's definitely me. Oh my gosh, if I didn't have notes about everyone or my CRM, there's no way I would be able to remember everything. It's just virtually impossible after having been in the business 21 years. So definitely true. It helps you remember things. The ability to keep client information organized, set up automated follow-up programs, and segment the database into different groups that can be communicated to in a way that is relevant to them are just a few reasons top agents love their CRMs. They understand that the ability for their business to grow is based on their ability to communicate and add value at scale. These capabilities are the reason top agents wish they would have optimized their databases through a CRM sooner. And so as a reminder, you've got a CRM in Booz right now. And the best way to organize your contacts is by tagging them. It might sound kind of weird to tag people, but in a way, when you're doing that, you're categorizing them or you're putting them into groups. And then with those groups, you can send them email campaigns that are also available in the CRM. So there's a monthly newsletter that you can send. And then there's also a variety of buyer and seller campaigns, first-time buyer campaigns. And so that's where you may want to take a look at the various campaigns that are available and then create tags based on that. And then as a reminder, we'll be migrating from Booz to KV Core in 2023, most likely late spring or early summer, but you will be able to transfer everything from Booz into KV Core. So you don't need to worry about losing any of your work, your tagging or categories or anything. The 6th thing that top agents wish they would have done sooner was joined a mastermind or hired a coach. You can't build the business of your dreams without the input of other people. Point of reference, even the Lone Ranger needed Tonto. All top agents realize that for them to have a full perspective of their business and what is possible, they need guidance. Just as top athletes have coaches, so do top agents. The best of the best always want others around them that are striving to grow their businesses and themselves. This is where masterminds can also lead to business growth and a broader perspective of what's possible. There are different coaching styles for different people, but every agent that finds the perfect fit for themselves regrets not finding the right coaches or masterminds sooner. And so hopefully you all feel that, many of you are working more remotely now, but that you can mastermind here in the office. That is one of the reasons why I have been now since last fall, when we could officially come back to the office without masks and everything, I've been consistently holding monthly office meetings and agent development here at the office so that we can meet here at the office, or for those that maybe can't come to the office, can join online so that we can mastermind, collaborate, and synergize together. I'm here to help you. And so those are 2 monthly office events each month where I'm available, and you can also seek input and feedback from other agents here in the office. I guess just to give you an idea of what I do, I belong to sort of a mastermind group within the RE/MAX ownership network. that has owners actually from around the world. I mean, most of them are from the US, but there's some that are out of the US. And we meet every Thursday morning to talk about ownership issues, recruiting, retention, all that sort of stuff. So I belong to a mastermind group myself and find it very valuable. I mean, there's many times where I don't even necessarily speak up, but it's a large group, but it's just helpful to hear from other owners. Or there has been a time, like I think you all know, I've been having issues with Facebook, right? And our Facebook page was unpublished. I got it republished. Now I'm restricted and can't post to it. So I was able to just at the end throw out that question and say, hey, you know, are other people having this restriction problem? Who are you contacting at Facebook? What can I do? And I did get some ideas. Unfortunately, that didn't end up working either. I'm still working on it. Facebook thinks they've resolved the issue, but it hasn't been resolved. But the idea is that it can be helpful to have others to ask questions and also just for support too. So I have that, and hopefully you feel you have that here at the office. The seventh thing that top agents wish they would have done sooner was built relationships with other agents. There's a point in most top agents' careers when they realize other agents in their local market are their competition, and they are also their allies. They realize relationships with other top agents in their market are what help them put deals together when inventory is low, like it was during the pandemic. And they understand that collaboration helps sellers sell and buyers buy. They also realize building relationships with agents in other markets leads to referrals and idea sharing. Whether these relationships are built via meetings at conferences, targeted mailers to agents in feeder markets, or visiting offices in other markets, referrals from agents in other markets prove we truly are better when we work together. The best of the best in real estate wish they would have built more and deeper relationships with other agents sooner. These are the 7 things I've most often heard veteran agents wish they would have done sooner. Will you act now, or will you look back on the future with regret? So that's the first topic, I guess, kind of going back to building relationships with other agents. As a reminder, with your membership in Seattle King County Realtors or Tacoma Pierce County, both of those local associations have pretty regular networking events that are typically hosted by the affiliate partners. So you can meet realtor affiliates such as loan officers, title and escrow folks, inspectors, tax folks, contractors, or just kind of a little bit of everything. And then you're also able to network with other agents at those events. And so both associations, I think, hold these, I'm trying to think of what they call them, and they probably have different names, but these networking type events that are mentioned here about quarterly. And so you should be receiving information about those, but if you're ever interested, let me know and I can help bring it to your attention. I know there's lots of emails out there, but there are good opportunities to meet with other agents. Then again, there's the RE/MAX convention. That would be a great opportunity to network with people around the world or US. So then that way, when you've got someone moving to a different state, you've actually met someone, you've talked to someone, you have an idea of how they may work with people that you know to provide better service, right? Rather than just researching people on Max Center, which does work, but having met someone in person is better. So that is all for that topic. I'll now move on to the second one. Going back to basics. What top agents are doing to finish the year strong. And this article was by Adam Hergenrother back in October. I think this was a topic that I had offered back in November, but wasn't necessarily ranked high at that time, but was ranked high this month. So that's why we're covering it this month. So he says, when it gets hard and uncomfortable, that's the time to make one more call. Read one more page, do one more push-up, or meet with one more client. With each rep, you're training your mind to finish strong in everything you do. And one of the most important things you can do right now is go back to the basics. And so he has six tips for that. Number 1 is have more conversations and have better conversations. There is a massive opportunity out there to become the economic advisor and real estate expert of choice for our client base. And taking that opportunity comes down to us being able to articulate how buyers and sellers can win in this market. Whether it's a seller's equity position or a buyer's ability to negotiate a rate buy down, there are ways for both sides of the transaction to find a mutually beneficial outcome. And it's more important than ever for agents to be able to serve their clients with a real level of expertise. Number 2 is follow the plan. Show up daily. Did you accomplish your goals from yesterday? What's your commitment for today? Share gratitude, practice scripts, have focused lead generation, and follow the plan. Number 3, agents' mindsets are critical right now. If you don't believe it's smart to buy or sell right now, that mindset will show up to clients with either negative viewpoints about the market or biased advice. The crazy part is some agents don't even realize they're costing themselves business. So mindset is key. Find the line between being positive about the market while also explaining the risk of giving unbiased advice. You can't do it without a positive mindset about the challenges of today's market. Number 4, stop listening to the noise right now. Be aware of the market, sure. Do not let it steal your focus and drive. We have always been educators. Our clients will move forward if they know they are with someone who will step through the process with them. So have the conversations, set the appointment, and sign the agreement to move forward together. Number 5, consistency will win. Take action every day to move forward. If agents don't know what to do, go back to the daily 10-4 routine. 10 contacts, 10 database updates or new entries, 10 handwritten notes, and preview, even if you're just doing it online on the MLS, at least 4 new listings. This may sound boring, but stay consistent. Break down tasks into bite-sized chunks. 2 one-hour lead generation sessions in the morning. Focus 1 hour on actual lead gen, adding 1 new contact daily, and 1 hour of lead follow-up. Do this 5 days a week, and you're ahead of 97% of your competition. And I don't doubt that. I'm sure that's true. Constantly lead generating is the number 1 most important thing. Number 6, focus daily on adding to your pipeline. It's the root cause of pendings and closings or no pendings or closings. We set all these lofty goals, but if you don't have a pipeline to support the closings, it can't happen. The wins are adding to the pipeline. The pendings and closings are the result of pipeline action. And I guess I do use that phrase pipeline, but I guess just to clarify, what he's talking about is lead generation, building your database, and remembering that as we're reaching out to people, not everyone is ready right now, right? Or going to be ready within the next month. So building your pipeline is staying in touch with those that are a few months out, 6, 9, or maybe a year out. Just remembering that not everything can happen now. Not everyone's ready, but staying in touch with those people now and throughout the year then will guarantee that business in the future, and you will have less lead generation in the future. And so that's how over time, every year, your business can become easier and easier for you as you build your pipeline. I'm trying to think if I have anything else to add. I don't think I do. I feel like we've heard a lot of these tips before, or I already talk about them amongst all of you throughout conversations, in business planning and things. It's really all about lead generation, whatever you want to call it, time blocking or budgeting time for that lead generation can be key, and then being consistent with it. So then the third topic is no clients, 11 things you should be doing right now. And this is by Daryl Davis, who's another big contributor to Inman News. And this was another one from back in October that was popular this month. And so he says, so you're a new real estate agent. You've got your license, you're pumped and ready to go, but there's just one tiny problem. You don't have any clients. Yikes. Don't worry, you're not alone. In fact, most new real estate agents struggle with the same thing. How do you get clients when you have no experience? The good news is that there are a lot of good things about being new in the business: enthusiasm, energy, lack of bad habits, fresh eyes, and an industry that literally has everything you need to build your business and grow your client list 24/7. Not that you should be doing it 24/7. Never has there been a time when learning and tools are more at your fingertips. So don't stress, just dive in. And he has 10 ideas to help you get started. Number 1, cold call or door knock. For some of you, this may not be the most fun way to drum up business, but it can be effective and results can actually be immediate. That is the biggest plus to cold calling and door knocking, is it's immediate. My recommendation would be to start with FSBOs, expireds, or your sphere of influence. Obviously, sphere of influence is going to be best. Reach out and let them know that there are crazy times in the market, but that you can be their source, their resource, and that you'll be happy to find the answers to any question they may have. So I would definitely start out with your sphere of influence first. Really, you should be kind of categorizing everyone in your database and figuring out, okay, who already has referred you to people or who is most likely to refer you to people. And then maybe the second group is those who would refer you, but maybe they just aren't the referring type. So maybe they need reminders or requests for referrals, that sort of thing. And then the others may be, well, you're just not really sure. And if you aren't sure, it's probably best to ask. But then based on those categories, it would be good to determine how often you should be reaching out to them. Because, some people, depending on how often you, text, email, or you're on social media, you may not necessarily need to call them quarterly. But for some, calling or at least personally reaching out with a personal text or something quarterly can be helpful. These are all ways to help grow your business. So back to what Daryl thinks we could be doing now. Attend local events. Get out and about in your community and attend local events like fairs, festivals, sporting, and charity events. Always wear your name tag or career apparel. Or don't forget, you've all got a Remax balloon lapel pin. In fact, I would have worn that today, except I've got a scarf, so it didn't really work. You never know who you'll meet and how they might need your help down the line. And I know that balloon lapel pin or name badges are great conversation starters. Volunteer for local causes and join neighborhood groups. Not only will this help you meet potential clients, but it will also help you become a more well-rounded agent who knows the ins and outs of the area you're selling in. And it's all very true. I think a lot of you know I'm volunteer a lot with the Realtors Associations now, which is good for networking amongst real estate agents. As I'm trying to grow the office, but in the past, I really focused on local community events, volunteering in the community, of which I still do some, but it's a great way to get out in the community, be visible, meet people one-on-one, build relationships, and it's definitely helped me build my database over the years. So I totally agree with that. Attending local events, volunteering in the community are all great things to do. Third is get involved in your local Chamber of Commerce. Chambers of Commerce are great networking opportunities for businesses of all types, including real estate agents. If you can get involved with your local chamber, you'll be able to rub shoulders with some of the movers and shakers in your area, and maybe even land a few clients along the way. And so, yeah, if you're considering joining a local Chamber of Commerce, it's definitely a great idea. I've been very involved with them over the years. Over time, you do build relationships with people. And so feel free to talk to me if you would like any input or feedback on that. Our office in general is a member of the Federal Way Chamber of Commerce. So I regularly attend their membership luncheons and some of the ribbon cuttings and things. I would say, of course, if you live and or want to join the Federal Way Chamber, that would be great. However, it might also be good to try to spread ourselves out. I'm a member of the chamber more for recruiting purposes or just general inquiries. They would be going to agents in the office. But Anyone else can join the Federal Way Chamber as well, or another nearby city too that you want to work in. Number 4, join your farm's area Facebook community group and start interacting. And this is a big one I've heard a lot of good things about. Do people need a recommendation for a plumber? Give one. I suggest a 5-to-1 ratio when it comes to posts. For every 1 real estate related post, have 5 non-real estate posts. Sharing recipes, current events, school info, and content of value are all great ways to get your name, face, and what you do for a living in front of the people you are looking to help. If there isn't one already, then start one. Number 5, write an informational article for your local newspaper or community newsletter. This one I'm a little less sure of. I mean, I know there's a local Federal Way paper here called The Mirror, but I don't know about other cities or communities and what they have. I don't know if they necessarily have newspapers, but I know some cities do have some sort of guides and things that maybe you could write an article for or advertise in. Whether it's about the housing market, current real estate issues in your area, or general tips on what to consider when purchasing your first home, this is a great way to show your knowledge and expertise while getting in front of your farm area at the same time. Number 6 is use social media videos to your advantage. In today's day and age, social media is king. Make sure you're active on all the major platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and that you're regularly posting content that is both informative and engaging. If people like what they see, they'll be more likely to reach out when they're ready to buy or sell. Interview local businesses, give video tours of neat locations around the neighborhood, and show how you are the expert in the area. And I have seen agents do that, and it works really well. It's another great thing to do, I think, in conjunction with getting out in the community, volunteering in the community, being active in a Facebook community group, all that sort of stuff. Just helps you become more visible. Number 7 is choose a niche that you feel excited to work. Whether you feel passionate about working with first-time buyers, young families, military families, boating communities, golf communities, or even architectural styles, make yourself the expert in this niche and start advertising yourself to this group. It's much easier to rise to the top in a niche than in an entire geographic market. Plus, you'll have more joy in working in the niche you are passionate about. Number 8 is to pre-buy cups of coffee at a local deli or shop. Ask your local coffee shop if you can work together by pre-buying coffee and having the barista hand out your business card with "Your coffee's on me today" printed on the back. This creative little act of kindness is sure to have them remember you fondly and mention it to their friends and family. And another idea I've heard is to just hang out at the local coffee shop or deli and work on your laptop or tablets and introduce yourself to some people in the coffee shop. Number 9, host open houses even if they're not your listings. Open houses are a great way to drum up both listing and buying leads, especially for new agents. Why? More experienced agents might feel too busy to host their own, which leaves a great opportunity for you to both be of service and connect with buyers and sellers. And as a reminder, I have a list of other RE/MAX offices in South King County and North Pierce County, where I know the owners or managers well. And so you could set up just a saved search in the MLS that would then show you all of the listings in those offices. And then you could contact those agents about holding an open house. Just keep in mind that not all RE/MAX offices, I know there's some here in South King County, and not all offices in general do allow other agents from different brokerages to hold their listings open. The designated broker needs to allow it. So you can always check with me if you have any questions about that, or ask me for the list of RE/MAX offices in our area. Okay, number 10, partner with other businesses in your area. There are certain businesses that go hand in hand with real estate. Think mortgage lenders, home inspectors, and more. See if you can partner with any of these businesses in order to cross-promote each other's services. This is a great way to reach a whole new group of potential clients who might not have heard of you otherwise. And a great way to meet other businesses in the area would probably be to attend the Seattle King County Realtors or Tacoma Pierce County Realtors networking events hosted by the affiliates. So to conclude, being a new real estate agent can be tough, but it's worth the learning curve. It's an industry where you can make as much as doctors and attorneys or more without expensive degrees or even a whole lot of experience. There are so many resources at your disposal, just waiting to help you succeed with more ease. And as a reminder, I'm always here for questions. We can schedule in-person meetings, online meetings, or as you know, I'm available via text. So I'm always here to help you as well. So that covers everything for today's agent development. Ways to start 2023 strong. I hope you're all at home and warm. You know, today it was, gosh, when I got up, I think it was 16 degrees. Thankfully, it's warmed up a little bit, but I know we're expecting freezing rain and some kind of harsh conditions here overnight and in tomorrow. So I hope you're all home safe and enjoy the holidays this weekend. I know I said it at the office meeting last week, but I'll say it again. You know, this is typically the slowest time of the year, and that's fine. I think it's a great time to also enjoy time with our friends and family, sort of get some of our work-life balance back. So enjoy some time off during the holidays, and I will most likely see you on camera or in person again then in 2023. So let me know if you need anything. Take care.